Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the game according to me. We missed last week for just stupid reasons. I totally just set up and forgot about it. So I apologize for that, but we are back this week, and we are talking about what went down in week 4 of the college football season and week 3 of the National Football League. And we may discuss other topics as well. The Lakers and the Heat are in the finals, and we get the baseball playoffs starting up today. And let's start with the ancillary things for a second with the NBA finals. The Lakers are making it there. They are the Western Conference champions, and as they took out some heavy competition, unexpected competition in the Denver Nuggets, making it to the finals, and the Miami Heat upsetting the #1 seed Milwaukee Bucks in the second round, and then going on to beat the Celtics in the championship round to make it to the finals. So now we have the Lakers versus the Heat. Should be a good one. This is LeBron James' 10th NBA Finals. Shout out to him, but let's not get crazy. He is not the greatest of all time. Anybody out there saying that should be, well, should be. I was getting ready to say should be doing something, but I won't say that. They just say their opinion should not be taken worth a damn, because anybody who has that opinion is obviously dumb. And that's for the baseball playoffs. The baseball playoffs are starting. This is a weird season in 2020. There are 16 team playoff in Major League Baseball. I don't know if I like the 16 team playoff in baseball or not. I really don't know if I like it. Willing to see how this goes. Willing to see how I like it. I will say this: my Cubs are obviously in the playoffs. Probably, I think they're in it. I guess if it was the regular playoffs, they would be in it because they're the 4th seed, but they would be playing in a wild card game, I guess, if it was the regular playoffs. The White Sox would not be in it. They would be the 7th seed. It was funny. They would have lost if this was the regular playoffs. They would have lost, been knocked out. They were actually like the 3 seed. And then they lost about a week and a half ago, something like that. And then they lost the last 8 out of 10 and dropped down to the 7th seed. So they would have been taken out of the playoffs with that last losing streak. But I think they're both Chicago teams are in it for all of the Chicago folks. So it's going to be a pretty interesting playoffs, I think. So I think we'll see how that goes. As for both the NBA Finals and these Major League Baseball playoffs, if I have any predictions, I will say I'm going to say the Lakers in 6, although I will be rooting definitely for the Heat, not only because of Jimmy Butler, who is a former Chicago Bull, and I think he gets a lot. He doesn't get a lot of credit. He's like an underrated. He's like, some people don't even call him a superstar. I think he is a superstar, and because like I mentioned earlier, the idiots who want to continue to put LeBron James ahead of Michael Jordan, that's not the case. And then there's so then there's that the Lakers in 6, and then for the Major League Baseball playoffs. Well, actually, I'll make a decision for the World Series. I'll say that I'll make a decision for the World Series. I'll let the playoffs play out a little bit before I make a decision on that. So, well, there we go. We talked about the playoff. We talked about basketball. We talked about baseball. I guess congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning. They won the Stanley Cup playoffs. So, whatever that was, congratulations on that. And yeah, let's now go ahead and talk about some football. That's what we're here for, right? Football. And now on to football. And as always, we start with college, so they happen on Saturday. Um, some major upsets this past Saturday, right? We had Mississippi State beating the defending champions LSU 44-34. Um, the quarterback Mississippi State threw for like 600 yards. It could, the most in a debut for a team in the SEC. Um, so it was incredible. Mike Leach already making progress in the SEC, bringing Mississippi State not even ranked. They jumped up to 16. LSU fell to 20th because of that. What other upset was there? I think there was the Kansas State. Oklahoma was in the top 5. And then once again, it's the second straight year, just cannot beat Kansas State. And Kansas State beat them in Oklahoma, 38-35. Incredible day from Deuce Wilson, the running back at Kansas State. Another short guy, almost not reminiscent of the great Darren Sproles. So Kansas State doing their thing. So some of the major upsets have happened in the Big 12 this year. But mostly everything stayed on point. Florida, number 3, beat Mississippi 51-35. Auburn took out Kentucky. This was the first week, big time week for the SEC, by the way. This was the SEC's opening week. So everybody in the SEC played. Georgia beat Arkansas 37-10 after Arkansas, started out, scared Georgia for a bit, but Georgia changed quarterbacks and they came back out. How about the game between Texas and Texas Tech in overtime, 63-56? Wow. I mean, I don't know what the over was, but I would guarantee they probably doubled the over in that game. That's just incredible. And obviously Alabama did away with Missouri 38-19, and Miami beat up Florida 52-10. So even though there was some upsets, some really crazy big games, and then some absolutely monstrous blowouts happening. It's an incredible day for college football last Saturday. By the way, Notre Dame and Wake Forest were supposed to play because a couple of people in Notre Dame got COVID. They decided to cancel the game, and then South Florida canceled their game as well because they played Notre Dame last week. Just to be sure, we have not heard about anybody else contracting COVID on either South Florida or Notre Dame. But so I think both teams have games coming up. I believe, right? I believe we have South Florida. They're taking on Cincinnati this upcoming week. I don't think Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame may have another bye week. So. I think Notre Dame may have another bye week hitting. So I don't know. I don't think they are playing again this week. So try to find a way to see if they can play this week. But upcoming, we got some interesting games. Texas A&M versus Alabama in the SEC. We have Virginia and Clemson. I think the biggest game of the week would be number 4 Georgia against number 7 Auburn. Usually this game, the Deep South's biggest rivalry, is the week before the Iron Bowl. It's the week before the other biggest rivalries. Before Georgia plays Georgia Tech in clean old-fashioned hate, and Auburn takes on Alabama in the Iron Bowl. That's usually the week before that. They play the week before that. But with this crazy COVID, we're getting this game early. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I guess it's a good thing because at least we're getting football, right? So that's the biggest game of this week. I think this is going to be a slobber knocker of a game. Should be very fun, and I think this is going to be a tremendous game. So I advise everybody to watch that. Look for the underrated game of the week. Look for number 24 Pittsburgh and NC State. I think that could be something. Pittsburgh has done some good stuff these past couple of weeks, and NC State is still trying to find themselves. So this could be an underrated game. This could be one of these upset games. Pittsburgh riding high, NC State coming in. So take that game out, keep that game on lock. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for college football. But again, Georgia, Auburn. That's the game of the week. And now for the NFL. Thursday night with the Dolphins and the Jaguars. The Dolphins took out the Jaguars thanks to Ryan Fitzpatrick doing his best Cam Newton impersonation. Um, he was running all over the field and throwing as well. So Dolphins beat the Jaguars. Then we go to Sunday, and so there's some incredible games on Sunday. Once again, the Falcons having a 16-point lead, blowing it to my Bears, and the Bears for the second time this year as well, coming back down from 16 points or more. It's the only time that's happened in NFL history. A team has done that, twice in the same season. So that's incredible. The Texans start 0-3. They lost to the Steelers, and you gotta feel bad for Deshaun Watson losing DeAndre Hopkins. He's out in Carolina, and they were playing pretty well. They were out in Arizona, and they were playing pretty well until this past Sunday. The Lions got them revenge for last year when their game ended in a tie. The Lions beat the Cardinals. And speaking of ties, how about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cincinnati Bengals, right? 23-23. 4th and 12, Doug Peterson decides to punt instead of go for it. That's, Dan Orlovsky was saying yesterday, that's hard to come back from with your team. It's hard, with your quarterback and your defense and something like that. It's not like they can kick the field goal. If they would have kicked the field goal, it would have been something else, but he punted. Yeah, I don't think that's right. I think he should have tried to go for it. I know he didn't want to give the Bengals the opportunity to win, but that's again. Then what you do is you throw the ball and you throw it up for grabs, because most of the time the defense was going to want to is going to want to intercept the ball. They want an interception, so they're going to intercept the ball and you just throw it up. And they're not smart enough, or they're not quick on their feet enough to knock it down to know that it's going. You can get the ball at the front of the at the place where the turnover downs would happen if they would knock it down. So that's what I would have done. Yeah, the Patriots beat the Raiders 36-20. Patriots get back on track. Browns with another win. They beat the Washington football team 34-20. Excuse me. Panthers beat the Chargers. Titans beat the Vikings on the last-second field goal. Coach just really steamrolled the Jets, and the Jets are just the Jets right now. The Broncos beat the Buccaneers. The Packers really did a thing on the Saints Sunday night, 37-30. The Seahawks and the Chargers. How about this? Russell Wilson, 5 touchdown passes. He's got the most touchdown passes in 3 games in NFL history. So he could be on his way to one of these 5,050 touchdown seasons that we've seen from a couple of players, in particular Patrick Mahomes and Peyton Manning. So be on the lookout for that. And of course, last night the Chiefs do what they did. They beat the Ravens. A lot of people were talking about maybe the Ravens beating the Chiefs, and I just didn't see it, because this is Patrick Mahomes. And they are trying. Their thing is hashtag run it back. They're trying to get another championship, and with that, and if they stay healthy with that team, I think they could definitely do it. I think they totally could do it. So I do not see anything like that. This upcoming week in the NFL starts Thursday with the Broncos and the Jets. I'm kind of glad they're getting all of these. The schedule makers were right. Said, okay, let's get some of these awful these awful games, out of the way, so that later on in the season we're going to get good games. So yeah, we had the Bengals and the Browns, we had the Jaguars and the Dolphins, and now we got the Broncos and the Jets. So yeah, we're gonna get this out the way. But we've got, let's see here. Vikings and the Texans will be interesting. Both teams are 0-3. So somebody's got to win unless they tie. Browns and the Cowboys are going to be interesting. Let's see if the Cowboys can come back from their loss against Seattle, and let's see if the Browns can keep up. This is one of those things for both teams. This is a team where both teams need to win if they want to be taken seriously as a contender. Cowboys, you got to beat the Browns at home, and if you're the Browns, you got to go on the road and beat a team like this, a team that's really good. If you're going to consider yourself a contender as well, so that's a good one. Colts and the Bears, I think the same thing. We now know that Nick Foles is the starter for the Chicago Bears. Well, it's really the foreseeable future. The Colts are going, are won the last 2 games, but they beat the Vikings and the Jets, 2 winless teams. So let's see now what happens with Nick Foles at the helm against the Bears, and let's see if the Colts can still do what they do and not turn the ball over from Phillip Rivers. Let's see, the Giants and the Rams. The Rams should be like that. I think the game, the game, it looks like the game. We got a couple games. We get Steelers and the Titans. Both teams are 3-0. Both teams are very well stacked, and I think both teams are really good. So this is going to be a very big time test for both teams. Again, this is just like the Browns and the Cowboys. You're the Steelers. You need to go to Tennessee and defeat them to show that you are back and you are still a part of this division. This is not Baltimore's division just yet. This is not Lamar Jackson's time. This is still the Steelers' time. This is still Ben Roethlisberger's yard. But if you're the Titans, you're going to say, hey, last year was not a fluke. These type of games, we're going out, we're going to win. We're going to run that ball. Ryan Tannehill is going to play some good football, and we're going to show this team that, we're still, a dominant team in this conference, and we're going to be a force to reckon with when it comes to the playoffs. So, the Titans and the Steelers have some stuff to do right there. We obviously have the Patriots and the Chiefs. This is going to be some good stuff here. Without Tom Brady, can the Patriots, hold off the Chiefs defensively and offensively? Can they score with the Chiefs? And it's going to be the same thing with the Chiefs. Can you stop Cam Newton from doing what he's doing? Now, if you stop Lamar Jackson, you should be able to stop Cam Newton. Cam Newton's more of a passer than Lamar Jackson is. Even though Lamar Jackson is very good at pass, I think Cam Newton is better. But this is going to be a slobber knocker for sure. But I'm still going with the Chiefs. I think they're still the cream of the crop. I'm not picking the Chiefs to lose anymore. If they lose, they're just going to lose on their own. I'm not picking them to lose anymore. Then they're going to go undefeated. And then Monday night is going to be the wild one. And that's going to be the wild one. Falcons 0-3. Going to Green Bay, last 2 wins demoralizing for the Falcons. We talked about it. Packers are 3-0. I guess I'm not sure. This could be the game that Dan Quinn loses his job, depending on what happens. I know there are some people that think where the Falcons have so many injuries that Dan Quinn may not lose their job, but. No. If let's just say this. Let's just say, and I don't think this is going to happen, but let's just say for the third consecutive week, the Atlanta Falcons have a 16-point or more lead against a team, and they lose it for a third straight week. I think you have to get rid of it. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Packers are just going to mollywop them. So, that's not going to happen. But if that were to happen, I think out the brink would have no other choice than to fire Dan Quinn. Y'all, that is it for this week's episode of The Game According to Me. Yes. Thank you guys so much for dealing with me. I forgot about last week. I appreciate you guys coming back and listening this week. Make sure you go to patreon.com/AJTRIP to become a patron. You sign up, 3 tiers. And once I get to a certain amount of patrons, I will start opening up the things to where you can consider what you want to hear on the podcast, what you want to see me play on my Twitch channel, what you want to see me talk about, what videos you want me to do on my YouTube channel, right? So that's open up. And also, and if you're not about like the Patreon and you just, anything like that, my podcast host, my podcast is everywhere. It's on many platforms, but my hosting partner is Anchor.fm, and Anchor.fm allows me to get money directly from you, the listeners. If you want to support me on my journey in the world of content creation and podcasting and all of that, you can go there. There are 3 tiers. It's 99 cents, it's $4.99, and it's $9.99. Now you don't get nothing. This is just a way for you to say, hey, I like this guy, I like what he does on the podcast, so I'm going to support him. So yeah, you can go to Anchor.fm, search my profile under Triple Show, and then bam, you can go right there and subscribe. So yeah, make sure you go ahead and do that. You get 2 ways to support your boy if you really want to. So yes, thank you guys so much for listening. I will be back next week, recapping week 5 of the college football season and week 4 of the NFL season. Probably, checking out what's happening with the NBA finals as well. All right, y'all, this is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.